Good morning. Is that recording? It is. Good morning and namaste, or good afternoon. Late last night I came down with a cold. My kids were sick with it last week, and I've been in a good space, keeping myself in a good space, and I'm healthy, and I lost it yesterday after 2 days of my cat soiling my bed. I was in a namaste place until she did that the second day. And I emotionally allow that energy into me. And, of course, when I'm out of sync, it attacked, So it is what it is. But I am a little bit stuffed up in my bed today. But I am going to answer the 3 questions that I've got. So the first one is I've gotten some questions about dark energy and possessions and things that walk around here in the earth plane that are of, dynamic and things like that. So I will talk to that. The second question that I got was, how can I calm myself in my heart and my emotions to sleep like a normal person? So I will touch on that one. And the last question that I got, and I hope you guys can deal with me blowing my nose and all of that stuff while I'm doing this, because sorry, it's not very pretty. I will be totally fine tomorrow. And the third question I got is how to handle sensitive or extrasensory children. So I will speak to those 3 questions today. The first question came to me about how to deal with dark energies and lower energies and what are they and exactly. So I'm going to go into a bit of what indigo children, I don't want to label either. I believe that anybody that's labeled as indigo or crystal or rainbow or whatever else, it's just a new wave of consciousness that's come in. And I believe that's why we're seeing more. However, these highly sensory children, that they've been throughout the planet. We see them throughout our planet and our history, and we're seeing more of them coming in because it's an evolution process. So more that's coming through are feeling and seeing things, and a lot of us as parents don't even know how to handle that. So what is dark energy? And I know a lot of people don't want to hear that there's, lower I don't even say lower. I like to say slower vibrating or faster vibrating. So when energy is slower vibrating, it's more in a space that it's slower, it's denser. And we know that from science that when atoms and molecules vibrate slower, you can actually feel and touch things. They're more of a physical vibration and a dense vibration. When things are of a faster vibrating and the molecules are vibrating very quickly, it becomes a gaseous state. And there's different levels of that type of energy. And it's space. So, and everything in between. So we've got everything in between. So just like how we have, people that are slower vibrating and faster vibrating on the planet, we also have spirits that are slower vibrating spirits and faster vibrating spirits. So this is my issue of what I have when people are connecting, but they really authentically don't know where they're connecting to. And exactly how can we tell what is dark? What are these attachments? Are there demons and things like that? And I'm here to tell you, yes, there are. Now, the key to handling these types of things is not to have fear. And not to even engage with them at all. I don't understand why you would want to engage with something that is attached to the physical plane. Because even though we're walking around on the physical plane, we're not attached to the physical plane. Because once we start to attach to anything in our exterior, we believe in the illusion of death. And when I say that we believe in the illusion of death, it means that we believe in that separation. That here in the physical, that we are not connected to our God, and that we're not connected to the universe, when that is actually false and that is actually a lie. We are connected all one all the time. There is no separation. And so when you start to believe that lie, that there's separation, that's when you believe more so of these dark energies and things that are walking around, and people get drawn into it. And those are 3D things that are walking around. They want to manifest more so in the 3D. So why would you want to have any form of those types of attachments? Is to believe in the illusion of death. It doesn't exist. We are all one, free living all the time. Whenever we transition from this physical into spirit, we're still continuously expansive and still one consciousness. There's no separation. You're not disconnected at all. When somebody dies, you're not disconnected at all. So dark energy walking around is always something that is attached to the physical plane. They have some form of attachment, whether it is a form of a mental attachment to the physical plane, and you will feel that when you go into haunted places and things like that. Some mediums, that you can hear the chatter, mental realm, right, stuff. A lot of them play in the emotional realm because the emotional vibrates a little bit faster than the mental realm. Well, much faster, I believe, in the emotional realm, and that's when they pick up on fear. So a lot of these kids that are coming in now, the consciousness and whatnot, when you're an indigo or labeled one of those things and you're highly sensitive, you tend to pick up on all energy. Oh, I have to stretch out my leg. You pick up on all types of energy, fast and slow, vibrating and everything in between. So how can we know what these dark energies are like and what do they feel like and anything like that? Now, just as a word to parents out there that have a sensitive child and they're dealing with these things, children are very, very well protected. Even though they may feel scared, they have guides and so much light and protection around them. And just teach your child to empower themselves. Like, I'm still big on the Lord's Prayer. I know it's used by, religion and whatnot, but I believe when you have an intent and things that go, and that it's been a belief system long enough on the planet and that it works in that way of light to let go of attachments, then it works. I would have things try to come into my body of darker energies and I would feel it and I would have to say the Lord's Prayer in order to detach it. Because these things are of lower vibration, whenever they create a attachment in the physical plane, they will buy into all of those types of illusions, including the Lord's Prayer. So I believe that it vibrates at a certain place. There's a belief system that's here on the planet and of that consciousness. So yeah, it totally plays into that. So teach your children those tools. Like the Lord's Prayer will definitely detach those things. So what are slower vibrating dark things and things that are dynamic? Well, just how you can have one end of the spectrum of super light and you have those ascended masters like Jesus and, Gandhi and Mother Teresa and Krishna and all of that. You also have on the other end spirits, people, because you have to think there were people without bodies. They were human once. They've incarnated in different places, same with Earth. So they have had a body at some point. Some may, I believe most of them have, if they haven't, not in Earth and other places. But if they haven't, then you know that they've mostly been around in the astral plane. They have some form of denser attachment to the astral plane and lower. So they seek not the light within themselves, because when they seek the light within themselves, that means that you have to own up for your stuff. You gotta own up. When we cross over, you gotta own up. Because that's the way that it is on the planet now. If you want to walk the spiritual path, you gotta own up and look at your shit, is what I'm gonna say. So, denser energies don't want to do that. They're continual with the exterior, blaming exterior instead of looking within. And they will attach to darker things. They will attach to things that have an emotional attachment, like I was saying, to the earth plane, and they will attach to those who have emotional fears. And it's usually the slower vibrating emotions. So fear, jealousy, envy, anger, those types of things. So if you are resonating your energy in those types of emotions and that type of mental talk, then you will attract those lower things around. And I'm not saying that you're going to end up being possessed or something like that. You have a good heart and a good intention. You are protected as well. So all you have to do is continue to pray and be in a good space. If you're in a place of intention and trying, you are in a good space, then you're in a good space. But there are typically people and things like that choose to deal with dark things. And that's okay. If that's their choice and they want to go and deal with things that are attached, it may be a lesson that they need to learn about attachment. Because with suffering comes attachment. You can't have attachment to those things. So if you are into having attached things, haunted pictures or dolls or books or, an old haunted rocking chair I've seen or anything like that. If you're into that, there's a reason that you're vibrating at those places, but just keep in mind that those things are attached for a reason. Anything of light and anything that's willing to work on themselves and to evolve and to heighten into the light will not have any form of attachment to anything. There is something that is needing about an attachment. So whether it's attaching to something that's so cute and like, oh my God, I have this awesome picture and it's so cute and I love it and the energy doesn't really bother me, having that, it will filtrate into the energy through your home, and it will filtrate into your energy depending if you have sensitivity in your family with children or whatnot, or your animals, it will affect them. So it's really a choice. However, be mindful of your choices and if it's for your higher good. That's all I'm going to say about that. So those are what darker energies are. There are energies that don't even have human form. I have dealt with dark energies that didn't have form at all, and they came across as a black mist. I've seen like demonic dogs and weird, crazy creatures and things like that. And it's funny. It's funny. Like the dark seems to always seem to find me, and I believe that's because they want help. They want help. Some of them want help. Some of them are ready to own up. Some of them are ready to transmute into the light. It just depends on when a spirit and a soul is ready, and we can't judge anybody's path. So unfortunately, it could be a gift and a curse. I was born with seeing these things since I was little. I've always had this. And no matter how much I don't play in the dark stuff, I've done exorcisms, they just kind of like pop into my lap. So I was just asked last week to go to someone's house to clear it again. And I was asked a couple weeks prior to that to do an exorcism. So even though I'm just sitting here like, it just always seems to come up. So I believe the dark, we can't fear it. There's a reason why sometimes we get stuck in dark holes here on earth. In our own path, in our own life, we get stuck. And so they still need help. And if somebody was there to lend me a helping hand when I was in the depths of my despair and I was horrible to myself and just in a dark, 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 dark space, that somebody shone a light and said, hey, do you need some help? If they're willing to take it, then I say, fine. And so sometimes if things are coming and they're dark and they seem scary and they seem like they're going to possess you, or, definitely own your right, own your power and your God self power. It doesn't mean that you have to be fearful, because if you're fearful, they'll take your energy from you, definitely, because that's an exchange. Once you become fearful, you're doing an exchange with them. So you want to be able to seal up your loopholes in your etheric body and be able to have no fear and to stand firmly in strength of your Christ consciousness light and be firm and be like, you can't come into my vibration, but let me talk to you. And what is it that I can help you with? And then they may be able to they may allow you to transport them into the light. They may allow you to say a prayer for them, or they may allow, because some of them need help. Some of them are malicious to get your light, but you have to be able not to engage with those ones and be able to be very strong in your discernment so that they can't play in those emotional realms and pull into your vibration. And this is where you need a skilled medium and a skilled light worker, that they know that they have strong discernment and that they're connecting to a very high light source like Christ consciousness. Because I've seen a lot of them be tricksters and a lot of them be, like they'll play with your emotions and you believe that you're attracting something of light. However, if you have ego around in your spiritual workings and ego in your mind, which means that you stifle a lot or you're not open to new things, then they can very much trick and play into those ego ways as well. So it takes a lot of practice of emotional work to be able to discern properly. So just continue to do it. I mean, nobody's perfect. All you do is keep doing it. And if your intention is from a good heart and a good space of love, then those things will manifest. And you'll learn your lessons along the way. Okay, so that was a quite long explanation for the first one. And I'm thinking some of these questions are going to take a long time. So that's basically what I see when it's dark, light energy, really low vibration. So I'll go into the next question. The next question was about how can I sleep like a normal person and be in an emotionally good space. Well, there's no such thing as normal, first of all. And, take it as you wish. Everybody has a different sleep pattern. But I find that diet has a lot to do with sleep patterns. What you're putting into your body has a lot to do with sleep patterns. And where your mind is at and where you are emotionally. When I have the best sleep is when I've had an even flowing day. When I've eaten properly and I have stuck to being authentic to myself is when I have a really nice, easy flow day and my sleep is much better. So I would definitely suggest starting to meditate, learn how to get into a calm, nice space, learn how to silence the mind, and do those things on a regular basis so that it becomes part of your daily life. Spirituality is to be lived and breathed and practiced. I know that's a really hard thing to try and bring into our day, but even if it's just a little bit every day, in the morning, do a morning meditation, or even in the evening, maybe before the hustle and bustle of the family and whatnot, that you could take some time for yourself and do a little bit of a break. It really does even out your day. And this is all about self-care. When you have a good sleep and to be able to be in a peaceful place of sleep, you're able to do a lot of self-care in your day. So I would really start looking at the self-care that you do for yourself. I'm not an advocate for meat and dairy. I don't believe that energy is high for anybody on the planet, to be honest with you. So I advocate for a vegan lifestyle. Now, that takes time and work, so don't go beating yourself up about it, but be mindful of it and be mindful of the foods that you're starting to put into your body. And of course, if it's going to be meat and dairy that you're not able to go vegan or vegetarian, that's fine. Just be mindful of things that you eat. Start to notice changes in your body. Start to notice how you feel around food. Drink your water, I shouldn't be drinking bottled water either. That's not the best for you either. A distilled water is probably the best. I just haven't been able to get time to go and do that. But yeah, up your water. And watch things that you put into your body. I no longer smoke or drink or do drugs and that type of thing. So watch those things in moderation. Of course, if I go out, which isn't very often, but when I do go out and I'll have a glass of wine, that's fine. If I do go out, and I'm not going to say that I knock it, I will smoke a joint with a couple friends, but I don't purchase it. I don't smoke it every night. It's not a routine thing. So that being said, I also watch how much caffeine and things like that come into my body every day. I have a coffee. I do my best to drink water and lemon in the morning. That hasn't been happening lately in the last couple of weeks. So I've been having a coffee in the morning, and that's usually, I have one, maybe one in the evening after supper. But I watch that evening one. And it's all about being mindful. I mean, the last week or two, I haven't been able to get up and meditate in the morning. I've been really busy with work and whatnot. So you've got to take things as they roll and be kind with yourself and just keep going. It's not going to be perfect every day, but as long as you are authentic with yourself and that you're like, okay, you know what? I'm having a bit of a slip up here. This is going to be my slip up for the next few days. I'm going to slip up, whatever, but I'm going to get back on it. And that's the perseverance is what it is. So keep doing that. Really try to find some peace. I think the more that you can bring space and peace into your life, then the more that you're going to be able to have a better sleep at night. Meditate before bed. Those types of things to relax the mind. You want to learn how to clear the mind. That's the most important thing. I also read an article, so this might help, is uncover your feet at night as you're falling asleep, and you may fall asleep within 5 minutes, so that's another one. All right. The last question was how to deal and raise and parent sensitive children. Now, I have two children. I have a son and a daughter. My daughter is the highly sensitive one. Now, I don't know if many of you know this, but she is transgender. She was born into a male's body, and her spirit is definitely a female. So she has been living as a female for a little bit over a year now. And she is highly sensitive. She was sensitive the minute she was born. I knew that. Her energy brought a lot of my own truth through me and woke me up. And since she's come out, I'm very proud of her that she's been able to speak her truth. And I think that's one thing of raising sensitive children, or raising any child, because I believe all children are born sensitive. It's us that conditions them. Continue to have your children speak their truth and believe them. I think us as adults think that we know everything and that we're like, no, this is how it should be, or this is how I was raised. Well, those are all kind of old things that are going out with the bathwater now, like these souls that are coming in, we have to realize that as evolution goes on, the souls that are younger than us are the ones that are more awakened. The older we get, the more we're stronger in our conditioning. So, I would rather listen to, a 20-year-old or a 15-year-old or even a 5-year-old or a 3-year-old. Do you know what I mean? To listen to their wisdom to then somebody, who's a lot older in their 50s. I think I would take more to listening to a child than I would take to listening to an adult in their mid-age, only because those who in the mid-age are going to have more of the earth experience, where those who are younger are going to be so fresh from spirit, they're going to have much more of a awakened understanding. So I would definitely continue to try and minimize the conditioning as much as you can. It's hard. We're not going to minimize everything. Like yesterday, I freaked about my cat. I got mad. I threw her outside on the porch, and I was like, that's it. She is not allowed into this house until I calm down. And my son, who is very sensitive, went out there and was crying with the cat because he could feel her emotions, that the cat was really upset with me. That's when I got sick, because I just relished in my anger yesterday, and not a right thing to do. And that's why I know my sickness got manifested even more. So happens. Earth is not an easy place. So the best thing you can do with your kids is have them speak their truth. Believe them. If they say that they're speaking to someone, believe it. And you don't have to be fearful. If they're not showing fear about it, kids usually don't feel fear unless they're picking up on your fear. You don't even have to say anything. They intuitively already know how you feel. And I remember doing this as a kid. Like, I used to do it just to piss my mom off. Sorry, Mom. I love you, but, I could feel her getting frustrated because she wanted to get me to eat dinner, and I didn't want to eat, and I saw it as a game, and I realized energetically I had one up on her. So I totally played in it. Yeah, kids do that because they intuitively know. So if you're feeling it and thinking it, check with yourself. And that's hard because they really are our greatest teachers. They're the ones that are teaching us. They are these bright little souls that are so fresh from source that they know the truth more than we do. And yeah, it's hard for us adults to listen to their truth. It is. And apologize to your kids. You gotta apologize to your kids. I remember so many things that, if I just heard somebody just own up for it, would have made it that much better, because kids take everything on. So when I totally freak out, we're all human and we'll freak out and whatever else. And as long as you apologize and do better next time, and you tell your kids, like I tell my kids, look, the dark possession of energy came and took me over. I'm sorry. That's not me, and I'm sorry, and it doesn't make it right, and I shouldn't have said those things, and I totally freaked out, and I'm really sorry. Mummy's going to do better next time. I will do my best not to follow that pattern again. And speak to your kids like that. They get it. They already know. And I don't believe that's putting anything burden on them. I believe that they're so wise that they already intuitively know. They can hear it justified, and that their feelings are then honored because you're saying those things, and they can be like, oh, okay, Mom knows she totally messed up. I knew she did. And that will raise them to be much more confident in speaking their truth. And I believe, honestly, that's why my daughter was able to come out this young and be who she is. And I'm not saying I am perfect at all. I freaked yesterday. But we just have to keep trying with that too. They are our greatest teachers. So listen to them. Be authentic with them. Own up first before I mean, we're more likely to be the ones that are in the wrong. And you guide them. But they already instinctually know what everything is about on this planet. Yeah. All right, so those are the 3 questions. I'm going to pull a card, 1 card for everybody here. I'll make the video about a good half hour. So we're going to do the angel ones because they're the ones that were sitting here. Oh, thank goodness. Look at that. The universe didn't have my nose running that entire time. All right. I'm already feeling better. I went and ate some Girl Guide cookies this morning because I was like, oh, I don't feel so good. And you know what? They made me feel worse because I eat mostly raw in my day and I don't eat dairy. And I think they have a little bit of milk in them. And I was just like, ugh, this is like not feeling good. I went and had avocado and tomato and for breakfast. And I felt so much better. But yeah, I was like, ugh. All right, we're just going to, I cleaned these in the blood moon the other night, so they're so highly charged and so beautifully charged. And I just asked the universe to come into the cards and pull 1 card. Well, we'll see how I feel. Maybe it will be 2. We'll pull 1 or 2. We'll see what's going on. Yeah, we're going to pull 1. For anybody that's watching this video, who gets pulled into this video, please come in. And what is the card that we need to hear? I like to do everything with my eyes closed. I feel I could feel more. I'm just spreading them out. I'm just going to pull them. Just wave my hands over them and I get an energy pull of which one the angels tell me to go to. And it's this one. What is it? Oh, the Queen of Air. Independent, experienced, realistic, and witty. Objective decision-making, clearing away all that no longer serves you, and seeing the humor in every situation. So let's read that one. When I'm first picking up by it, it's absolutely beautiful. What I'm seeing is that there is a big, huge clearing, especially with after the blood moon has been happening. And so the clearing is coming. Those ties are being cut. I feel a lot of people that are watching this video have been fighting a lot with their other halves and people in the homes. A lot lately. I feel there's a lot of turmoil that's going on. There's a lot of power struggles that are going on, especially for people that are watching this. So if that's resonating for you, this is definitely your card. I believe anyone who's watching this card mostly will resonate with people. It's, let's give it a read. See what it says. Queen of Air. So allow that to happen. And we don't like to feel dark things and, you know, fighting and all of that. However, it's always an opportunity to grow because when you fight, it's a clash of egos and pain bodies. So it's definitely an opportunity to grow and it's an opportunity to see where you can evolve and expand from the situation instead of making the same choice of continuing that pattern. Because that's why if you notice when you continue fighting and things continue to come up, it's because it's the same issue. It's the same, what is that saying? Same shit, different day. You know? It's really what it is because the court issue hasn't been worked on. So I feel like that's what's going on with a lot of people and a lot of family things going on lately. Okay, so let me find it. Queen of Air. Do, 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 do. All right. Situations. Your clear decision-making abilities are needed right now. See through any hidden agendas. It's time to remove anything or anyone from your life whose presence no longer serves your greatest good. So, yeah, I'm seeing a lot of shifting in relationships. So, you know what? When you heighten, unfortunately, those people don't resonate with you anymore. It's again like what I was talking about, the slower vibrating particles and the faster vibrating particles. There's no right or wrong. It just happens that you're vibrating at different places and you can love that for what it is and go your separate ways. It's time to remove anything or anyone from your life whose presence no longer serves your greatest good. Still, try to see the underlying humor. So take it with fun. You know, you don't have to be distraught and make a different choice and know that you're honoring yourself. Honoring yourself is the most authentic, beautiful growth that you could ever give yourself. I mean, you would want your children to honor themselves, correct? You can't tell them to do that and not be showing them as an example. People. Someone with incredible insight and perceptiveness with regard to situations and people, a person with a marvelous wit, a keen mind, and a forthright personality who doesn't take life too seriously, a perfectionist but not judgmental, an unmarried person, independent, experienced, candid, and realistic. So watch out for that type of person that may come into your life or who is in your life already. All right, so that is 30 minutes right on the dot. Awesome, I said it's going to be about 30-minute video, so that's that. I am going to go chill out. My kids will be home in a couple of hours, and I'm exhausted and a little tired, but namaste. Thank you for following and watching, and I hope you liked the video. Please comment below. I love the interaction. I love to hear what you get from what you hear, what comes through me and through spirit. And love, 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 light, 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 and have a fabulous weekend. Bye. Love.